Yeah. And that's the second time I got pink eye. Oh.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
You look like fucking Brolin, you're a Leeds eating bastard. Look like some sort of fucking weird floating head. No. You utensil player a bit, innit?
I mean, I feel a bit right, dickhead.
Nothing spectacular, really.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Berardi and Coke show with me and Jay, the very ghost of Christmas present here on my left-hand side.
Barely alive.
And the fringulous one down at the bottom, Danny from Nalp. How are you?
G'day, mate.
Are you well? Are you both well? It's Sunday. It's nearly Christmas.
Let's start with Jay first. I'm dying to know.
Yeah.
Dying.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling today, James? Did you have a heavy night in the old drinking last night?
I got home about 5 a.m. I am destroyed.
You do look like a destroyed man. You do look very pale. You look like you've just been dug up this morning.
I mean, this light doesn't help. If I make the light a different colour, I look a bit more real.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
You look like one of the Marley brothers come to haunt Scrooge.
Let's have a look.
He's not got his ponytail in either, has he? He's kind of like all like flopsy, dopsy, interesting, and
That's a warm light.
added a little bit of life to you, I suppose.
Oh.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Everyone in the comments, get your interactions going. We'll pick out the best ones, and we'll ignore the really shite ones. Sorry we didn't join this morning. We didn't want to do it this morning because I knew Jay was going out yesterday evening. I wasn't. I was a good boy and I went home after the match. Well, after a couple of pints in Peacock with everyone. But I went and tucked myself away and like a good boy, not like this idiot. But yeah, get your comments in. Get your comments in. Right, gents. Coventry are looking absolutely shite as well. Did you see the score against the weekend? We won't go too much over the other results, and obviously we'll concentrate on ours. But right, thoughts against the Oxford United. What are your thoughts, Jay? Did you enjoy yourself this time? Were you bored?
I wouldn't say bored. There were bits where I was getting frustrated because I felt we needed to be scoring more goals. We just had so much of it. We had so many.
This is on the back of a 4-0 win.
Yeah, I mean during the game. Bear in mind, like we scored the first goal early, and then we waited quite a while to get the second one. Do you know what I mean? We were doing pretty much everything right, apart from the odd defensive lapse, which worried me a bit, as usual. But yeah, I just thought we could have been a little bit more clinical. But end of the day, we won 4-0. I can't complain about that, and it was good to score more than.
Sounds like you want to though. Sounds like you want to have a little bit of a moan, a little bit of a complaint. Ooh, it's not perfect.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It would just
no, it doesn't.
It were a strange game, wasn't it? Because like the wind made it crazy. The weather were insane. It was just like raining into our faces at one point, and there was like a panel on the roof that were going. You could hear it, and I was just thinking, we're going to get Final Destination day. Like someone's going to fly off, chop me.
Final Destination, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it were all right.
Someone's loaded fries are going to blow into some one of our players' faces or something like that.
Right,
Kill
yeah,
them.
right into someone's eye or something. But yeah, the wind made it pretty crazy. The fact that their keeper kept trying to do the same kick to the wing, and it just kept going for a Burton every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was comical at times. Some of it.
We had a nice bit of backwards and forwards with their fans actually every time their keeper booted it out, and then one of ours, I can't remember who it was, it might have been Ampadu or someone, one of our players booted it out, obviously for another dead kick, and then we're giving it big licks, and then I turned to one of the lads and went, this guy's going to boot this straight out again, and he's going to get an absolute chuffing, and then he just like literally booted it exactly the same place, went all the way over to their left winger, and it just went sailing out like fucking hell. Like you said. You know, why would you do the same thing over and over again? It's just craziness, bordering madness.
I mean, when you look at the game as well, like we were crossing low, apart from the odd ball, because we knew that if you put it into the air, it was just a lottery; it could go anywhere. But they didn't seem to pick up on that. They just kept trying to kick it long and suffering for it, really.
Well, they did. They teased us. They teased us slightly as well. With it looked like they were going to start kicking it short, and then no, just a bit of a time wasting tactic. Go on, get yourselves up there, lads. I'm going to blast this straight out into frigging dugout again. Absolutely. Daniel, you've watched the highlights.
I have.
Which you've just told us literally 2 seconds before we went live. I've not even seen it, lads. I've just seen highlights. So tell us what you saw of the highlights and what you thought of the game. Then
From my
top fan.
vast knowledge of the extended highlights, get it right, Smarty. It's 11
Extended
minutes
highlights. I apologise.
instead of 5. I mean, come on. What do you think?
Did you get any of the pre-match build-up as well?
No, I didn't, because like normal people, I had something to do, like lick a pavement. That's what normal people do, right?
That's right.
First and foremost, Merry Christmas to you and all your OKB viewers. Thanks for having me on again.
Thank you very much.
I thought it was a routine 4-0 for me. I expected as much. We said in the chat as well. Even James said 4-0, I think, or 5-0. That was James.
I don't believe it.
Well, it's finally come true. But yeah, I think the scared that the guy that went through that looks like a rubbish Radoni skied it, did he, earlier on?
Yeah, that's right.
And I thought that was a bit of a blessing, a bit of a warning shot for me. But other than that, I thought we dealt with it professionally. 4-0 flattered them, I suppose, in the end. It's just a case. I know what Jay's trying to say. We need to be more clinical in this league. But against a team like Oxford, who've lost now 5 out of the last 5 or 4 or whatever it was. It's definitely, they've lost 5 out of the last 6 anyway. We should be putting them to bed, and we did in the end. And there's some good finishes, in my opinion.
Yeah, there were some very good finishes actually. Who was your? I'll go around the room. Obviously, there's only 3 of us. Who was your man of the match, Jay?
Probably Solomon.
Yeah, Danny.
Oh, he had a really
Same.
good game.
Yeah,
I thought he had a really good game. Yeah.
I was expecting you both to say someone else actually.
Solomon.
Yeah. Because he don't get enough credit, does he? Really? I mean, he kind of goes, because he spent the vast majority of the season injured or just not at his best or whatever, barring the first couple of times we saw him.
Yeah.
He's not been really that good, but I think over the last couple of weeks, as he's starting to get into that, get his rhythm going again, he's been really, really effective. And actually, when I looked at SofaScore, they'd got him as man of the match as well. They've got some really good stats on him. But I thought Solomon was very, I thought he was brilliant. I thought Dan James, obviously, it's a kind of a given from him. And you know what, Aronson, I've seen some mixed stuff on Aronson. I don't know where your guys, thoughts lie with him, but I thought Aronson was pretty good as well. Not the best player in the world, as we all know, but yeah, I thought he was pretty effective yesterday. Go on, Danny.
Going off the highlights, I can't.
Yes.
I thought his foot control was really good. His ball control in close quarters was really good.
Tidy finish.
Tidy finish. But even the assist for, was it Bogle? Just a cutback for Bogle.
Yeah.
There were one in the first half where he did like a little half pirouette turn inside and did something else with it because that's what the highlights showed. But yes. I thought he was very, very nimble, very good. And going off what I've seen, and people who are praising Aronson, maybe he has seen our podcasts and he's taking note.
Maybe so. Certainly not when Gilly's been on the show, though.
God no.
Right. He actually texted me about Gilly. He went, "Is that guy Gilly for real?" That's what he said via text.
Bryn says one thing Aronson can't do is volley, and I am inclined to agree with that. That first half effort where he just flapped it straight over the bar, I thought.
I thought he was okay. I didn't think he was outstanding. I thought he was pretty decent. He didn't really screw up too many things. He did get a few things wrong, but he got a goal, so he did all right. I want more than someone who does all right in that position.
Who do you think gets dispossessed, or who do you think got dispossessed most? Yes, on Saturday. Sorry, it's Sunday, isn't it? I keep thinking it's Monday for some reason today. Wishing the week away. Yes, it was yesterday. Sorry, yes.
It were probably Solomon or James, to be honest, with the way the game were played.
Yeah, but the thing is, with people's narratives, etc., they like to think, "Oh, Aronson loses it constantly, this, that, and the other," and he didn't do that bad. Actually, Dan James lost it, I think, like 29 times or something. Something daft like that. It were obscene, but Dan James, clinical finish right at the start. Nice to get us over the line or whatever. Because, like you say, we had a bit of a rocky couple of first exchanges or whatever. That there blonde-haired lad, I don't know what he's called, kind of like a Wish version of Mudrick or whatever he's called. Yeah, is it? Yeah, no, yeah. I
Yeah,
think it's
him that ran through, and none of our defenders went with him.
Yeah.
Like, what were that about?
yeah. I think Rodon left him, didn't he? He kind of like looked at him and were like looking at Lino. I'm like,
Yeah, he didn't know what to do.
defend,
Calling for
defend,
offside.
please.
I don't want to see us calling for an offside, try to get us out of shit. I want to see us tracking people and defending.
It's a very Cooperism, is that?
Yeah,
Looking
it shouldn't be
at
that
this,
easy to run through like that. Like, if he'd have been able to finish, that'd have been 1-1 at that point, and it'd have been a different game.
It's a terrible,
The crowd
terrible
would have
finish.
turned.
Yeah, absolutely obscene. I mean, I couldn't believe he'd missed that badly, if I'm honest. Because at the end of the day, if you get it on target against Melier, especially from a distance, there's a good chance you're going to score. Do you know what I mean? So I think he tried thumping him. Like, you didn't really need to do that. You could literally have passed it back to him, and he probably would have let it in, and then that would have completely been a different game. Because like I say, it was
100% with Melier.
evident from the start they were trying to waste a little bit of time and take the times at dead kicks, etc. Any sort of opportunity that they had, they would obviously waste time and stuff. But yeah, from an opponent sort of perspective, then lads, where do you kind of rank Oxford as an opponent? Because everyone that I spoke to at the Peacock yesterday said that they were the worst team to come to Elland Road, and I don't think so. I think there's been a couple of worse performances from other teams, but what do you think on the scale, Danny? Where are they for you, Oxford?
I think exactly where they are now. I think they're like are they just above the relegation?
I think they were like
zone?
17th or 18th or something. I think.
Yeah, I don't think they're that bad. I think that they'll struggle to maybe, flirt with that relegation line. But lucky for them that there's worse teams for them. But I don't think they're that bad. They seem to, like, even when Derby came, they were playing some good stuff, and I didn't think they should be.
I think they were trying to. They just weren't good enough, were they?
Well, it seems like when teams come to Elland Road, they're just right. We'll sit behind the ball, and then we'll try and get them on the counter, or play for a draw. Some teams do, but that's why it's so imperative for us to get that first goal. Because correct me if I'm wrong, is it 32 out of 34 games we've won when we've scored first, or it's something like that, isn't it? It's roundabout that.
Something like that, yeah.
And that's why, in my opinion.
You have the table here, by the way.
Well, that's a nice table.
Down there now.
Well. After the weekends, yeah, because Portsmouth won, didn't they?
Yeah,
they battered Frank Lampard's Coventry City.
Yeah, imagine Lamp sending Rooney down.
Yeah.
I thought
they were average, like a newly promoted team from League One. They do look like a League One outfit, but they're going to be there or thereabouts in the relegation zone. You know what I mean? I think that's fair.
I think it's fair to say as well. Like, you're not going to get an Ipswich every day of the week, are you? They were a complete anomaly. And I don't even think, obviously Ipswich didn't even expect to do that well. And it looked like there might have been a couple of contenders this year. And I thought Portsmouth might have done, I'm not saying that they were excellent against us when we played them at home, but I thought Portsmouth might have done a little bit better than they are doing. But Oxford, I kind of always thought, I think they came up through playoffs as well. It wasn't like an automatic promotion for them, would it?
You normally get someone with a bit of momentum, don't you, that carries them through the first season up, and they generally will do all right mid-table.
That's what Ipswich did, isn't it? Yeah.
But
they kept the nucleus and added good players, and then built in January, and that's what saw them across the line. Plus, we helped them. You could say that.
Of course, we did. It's the Leeds United Charitable Trust. We just like to gift goals and promotions and things to other sides.
Exactly. That's why. That's why we're where we are.
We are where we are. This new setup, Jay, I don't like it. It's not like the old one. You'll notice those that are watching the visual version of this podcast is we've got a nice fancy background, which isn't normally on the thing. Is everything else on the right side, which you guys don't see, is in completely different places, and it's just confused me. And I don't take much confusion.
Because we're in a different brand.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Here is the momentum graph.
Things across, don't we?
You what you say? Say again.
Need Gillett to send the bloody things across so we can.
We can't get him to do it, can we? Christ. Bloody useless him. So there's your momentum graph. The first goal, it doesn't look like it is, or it doesn't show it on this graph, but they'd actually had a bit of a counter-attack against us, which brought them out, which evidently gave us the chance and the opportunity to go 1-up because we caught them on the break because they'd attacked us initially. Obviously, Solomon doing his little bits and skipping through, and then a lovely little pass through to Dan James, sliding across his beautiful arse, I might say, and caressing it slightly into the net. But yeah, I really enjoyed. I had a really good. Apart from weather, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about these frigging cold games, but no one wants to stick around afterwards. It completely emptied around 90th minute. Not completely, totally.
At 85, it was bizarre.
It's mad, isn't it? I don't want that to become. I don't want it to become kind of the norm. You know, if we're doing well, if we're dicking a team or whatever, and then people just start emptying. That's very, very entitled. Is that to me?
Do you think that's a bit of a damning indictment of Farker Ball? I think people just think, well, if you're winning by that many last bit of game, you're not gonna do anything. We're not gonna really try. We did yesterday, which were nice, but we don't usually do it.
Go on, Danny. Have him, Danny. Go on.
Jay's got the Farker out in his sights, hasn't he?
Oh,
I've got the feeling
on him, hasn't
he? Yeah, and I think he's ready to pull the trigger. He's locked and loaded. He's got his position ready, and he's ready to hit that right trigger to get a takedown. Warzone.
He hates everything. He hates life, does Jay?
Only
he hates ironing boards, anything nice. Christmas. Have you got any Christmas decorations up, Jay?
Not a single one.
See, he's just a barrel of chuffing laughs, is James.
It's just.
Well, that's because
I've not got
he's
around
a Viking.
To it. I'm not bothered. Not this
He's a
year.
Viking. He doesn't celebrate Christmas. He just goes around raiding seaside villages. That's it.
Goes outside and sacrifices animals
to Thor
to bring in a good year.
Odin. Do you know what I mean? To be fair, if I had the time, I'd do it as well.
Send my Raven out. Buy me some roadkill.
I just need the hair for it. And I don't.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem for you, isn't it? White Snake Bite says Scrooge, Jay.
It's not that. I just haven't got around to it. It's not been the best month. So you know.
The thing is, Bryn says, has he that present earring, Smarty? You can't see.
Festive.
You can't see that little earring because he's got his earmuff over it, but it's the worst thing you've ever seen in your life.
What is it?
He's got a bloody. It's a present on a chuffy. I mean, for God's sake, he's there with his frigging ponytail in for one thing, and then he rocks up to Peacock yesterday with his pissing present hanging from his lug hole. I mean, God,
it's great.
Blowing around in wind. Honestly, what you like? I can't look at you. I can't take you seriously. I can't look at you when you got this thing.
Look what you've got people saying here. Richard Hogan says Jay's hoping to start his Farker Out campaign on Boxing Day. Unbelievable.
Mate, I'm just a spark that he could.
I'm not saying it. I'm not doing it. Not yet, anyway.
Are you sacrificing kittens for Christmas, Jay?
No, I like to rescue kittens. I'm like a cat man.
He uses them to lure people in.
That's it.
Come see some kittens. Anyway, we won't go that far. I'd like to know what White Snake is doing for Christmas, or what sort of the weather's down there, because it's their summertime now, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be hot there, won't it?
Yeah. So let us know what you're doing, White Snake.
Torrential rain, actually. Torrential
Probably
rain.
pissing it down.
I'm assuming you're talking about Oz.
I think it's New Zealand.
Well, it's thereabouts, isn't it? Mordor and all that.
Mordor, New Zealand. Christ alive.
Am I wrong? Wales.
To be fair, he has confirmed it's raining. It's pissing it down. It's bloody grim day in here.
You think they're really close together, but they're not, are they? New Zealand and Oz. They're quite far apart.
It's all right, White Snake. We've got your back, son. Don't you worry. We know. I've been scorned with that. I think I wouldn't say before we knew where he was from. I said, "Oh, he's from New Zealand." It sounded like from Australia, and he corrected us straight away. Don't you dare! You dare say Australia?
In certain terms.
Anyway, Ampadu in for Strike at the weekend. What did you think of Ampadu's performance? Are you happy that he replaced Strike? What are your thoughts on Ampadu at the back again with Rodon? Jay.
Ampadu, do. He's great. Love him. I was happy to see him in there.
Do you prefer him in there?
Possibly.
Ooh, controversial.
Possibly. I mean, the centre-back pairing when we had that amazing run, it was Ampadu and Rodon, wasn't it?
We also had Bamford up front, but we won't go there.
Yeah, well, we don't get into that.
We will leave that little stat out, please.
he should never get a chance to fuck anything up for us again. But that's a different podcast.
Yeah. About to say, there's a lot of games coming up in the next few weeks, mate. Don't count your kittens, as they say.
He probably will.
You got rid of your chickens.
Yeah.
Well,
I was happy to see him in. Was it an injury that Strike had then? Because I didn't get to see any of the bloody pre-game stuff. I just got there sort of right on.
He had a tight hammy. He had a tight hammy, and I think it was 50-50, he said. So I think he just didn't want to risk it against Oxford of all teams.
Well, that's it. Why bother? I mean, they didn't bother turning up, so why should we? But yeah, I think it might be tough for Strike to get back in. Although you never know. It depends on Ampadu's fitness. If he's not quite up to it, and that we're like putting him in before he's really ready, then it might take him straight back out. We won't know.
Yeah.
He starts.
I mean,
I think he's going to.
I like Strike at centre back, but I would always pick Ampadu over him. I would, and it's not. I don't have a narrative. I don't have an agenda against Strike. I've always said that I think he's a good enough player at this level. The Premier League scares me with him. I'll be honest. We've seen over the last few weeks where he has got a mistake in him, and they do often, quite often lead to goals. And I just think without a proper, I mean, Rodon's brilliant. He's a great player, and I think he'll do well for us in Premier League should we get there as well. And I think someone on his sort of level, it needs to be better than Strike for me. Strike's a good backup option. Yeah. I've always said this isn't something that I've just because at the end of the day he's not playing bad Strike. I just think he's defensively not as strong as Ampadu. And when I heard that they dropped him for Ampadu at the weekend, I'm like, oh, this is the best. Yeah. This is the best sort of scenario for me because of Tanaka. You're not losing Tanaka or Rothwell either.
No. I mean, I like Strike. I just think that Ampadu can do all the stuff Strike can do, and he's got the range of passing, and he's better at sort of not getting caught out on the turn and stuff. Like Strike sometimes is well out of position. Like it's happened a few times in recent games. I don't know what he's doing sometimes. Like he's just gone off for one.
I think he's just getting overexcited and he's going too close to the man for me, which enables the striker who's got the turning circle of a German U-boat to get past him. And it's just risky to me whenever I see a centre-back being too close to a rather good striker or a striker that's experienced and can turn you inside out like a pair of old underpants. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been at fault for a few. I mean, that Blackburn penalty as well. He got turned, like you say, in no man's land. But Tanaka did foul him. It was a stupid foul for me.
It was silly.
The goal against Preston, I think Ampadu takes out their attacker. I think Strike's too nice sometimes. He's not got that kind of nasty streak that I think sometimes you need from a centre back.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
I don't know at this point. It's a shame because we thought he had a
10 mil seems a bit low
at one point, didn't we?
It was Strike. Yeah. I mean, to be fair to lad, he were always playing at left back. He were always out of position in Premier League. So you've got to caveat it with that. Do you know what I mean? It's as were a lot of players, especially under Bielsa, he were putting square pegs in round holes, etc., etc.
All the time.
Literally all over the park, including obviously bringing in some youth and stuff. I
kind of thought, but he always like his stuff. It's all cobbled together with like gaffer tape and stuff,
Who Bielsa's?
Yeah, he won't throw up.
No, surely not.
Yeah, like
beautiful, serene mountain landscapes with everything has to have its own little place and specific. Oh God, this is Bielsa you're talking about.
Way of life, it'll all be cobbled.
Nah, he's definitely
absolutely not.
He's definitely got the same spoon from like 1975. Like his favourite.
His mother's spoons.
Hand carved from the mountains of
Silver
somewhere in Argentina. What did
Apparently
you
still Go on, Jay. What are you going to say?
What did you think of the ref this week? Because I thought he were a bit shit. And he were a Wednesday.
Where is he? What, confirmed? Confirmed Wednesday. Wednesday-ite. I don't think he had a bad game.
Did you not think it were a bit crackers that we had like 3 penalty shouts they weren't interested in? Like, there was the one where, I've forgotten who it was now, was it Tanaka got fouled? Like, it basically just tripped him, and it was soft, and it would have been piss weak, but by the rules, he tripped him. He didn't play the ball. And there were
I
two.
don't know which. I don't know which. I must have blinked or something at that point. I don't remember.
Which player it was? I just remember he was really near the byline.
Do you see out on the highlights about that, Daniel, Mr. Highlights expert down at the bottom?
The guy was on the floor.
No, it was skipped over that, I think.
Yeah, for
They
me,
didn't include that in the 11 minutes.
Go on, Jay, explain.
that's technically a penalty for me. He's fouled him. He's tripped him. So, but then there were two more times when it looked like they pulled back our players in the box twice. Like they did grab the shirt a couple of times, and again that was let go. No one's really mentioned it.
They were definitely. Yeah, I did see. I did see a couple of occasions our players being dragged down a little bit, and they did. But the thing is, I can't remember who it was. It might have been their number 8 who were doing a lot of the dragging, and he got carded really early on. So
Bryn's just said this, so it probably was Tanaka. I'm thinking of. I don't know, Bryn, because it was the opposite side of the goal from me. So from where I was, it looked like he was in the box, but I could have been mistaken. Which is why no one said fuck all about it, and now I sound like an idiot.
Russ Vernon, the sports journalist, says Road and Ampadu better CB pairing that we had. Christ, I can't speak.
Come on, Smarty.
I can't speak. I've had my Sunday roast and now I just want to go to bed. Rodon and Amps, better CB pairing we had last year. We look better with Rodon and Amps at centre back yesterday than we have defensively in the last few weeks. Yes, absolutely. I mean, for me, it's. Go on.
I was scared you have to caveat that with that it's against Oxford.
Yes, that's where I was going to go with it. You know, a lot of our. I mean, you look at Mellier's stats. You know, all of his clean sheets have come against absolutely shite sides that don't get anywhere near us and can't lay a glove on us. You know, those are the sort of teams that you're playing against. We didn't really get tested much apart from Wish Mudrick or whatever he's called. Their number 7. You know, he seemed to look busy. He did a lot of steppy stuff. As soon as he got near one of our players, he got tackled quite a few times and dispossessed. Maybe so, but I didn't really see much from them, to be honest. I thought both their right and left backs were pretty poor. Dan James and Solomon made quite easy work of them. On a whole, I thought evidence, in the brand, obviously the momentum charts and all the stats would point out we absolutely dominated the game, and it was, but they did put up quite a defensive display, and we struggled to break them down completely in the first half. And it was always one of them. They went in 1-0 down. You know, it only takes a little bit. It only takes a small wind of change in the second half for them to come out fighting. We saw it against Watford. Watford came out and snuck an early goal in the second half. So thinking, we do really need to bury these. Were you thinking that sort of, that they might come back in the second half, guns blazing and try and try and shit out a draw? Danny, I'll come to you actually. You've not spoken much apart from just nodding along and look all interested in your hat.
There's a reason why you don't let me speak much. I've got a gagging order here that from No Better HQ. I do generally think that teams go in at half time, say if they're going at 1-0. Their manager goes, get one goal here, lads, and they'll bottle and they'll break, because I think that's an actual thing. Because
that crowd will turn as well.
Exactly, yeah, and we know our expectations of this team, especially this year. Like there's a lot of pressure on us to go up this year, and I generally do. If I were their manager, I'd go in and say, look, get one goal, and they'll buckle and they'll make mistakes. They'll try and rush for the next goal, and we can just counter on that. That's what I'd be saying. Because in every game, because all it takes is one opportunity. That's it. Here we go, Danny Nem. All it takes is one opportunity, and then one goal, and then they're back in, and then we start to make mistakes. And at one point, Mellier gave us a bit of a fright where their player nodded it over. Do you know what I mean? Exactly every.
Yeah. And obviously it started at first half as well, second half, should I say. Their defender, that gypsy looking one with the shit Luke Ayling hair, he knocked it over from close range, didn't he?
I had visions of him going up to catch a ball and it being blown away from his hands. And
just a strong gust.
Yeah.
I think it would be better if the old creaky house from the Wizard of Oz landed on Mellier with his feet. With that weather yesterday.
I saw something from obviously a very credible source, the Sun of all places, linking him to Scum again.
Yes.
Literally this afternoon, I was like, not the ideal destination, but do I care? No, probably not. As long as we've got a suitable replacement or a better replacement.
Hey, if someone wants to pay for him and we can get somebody else, yeah.
I'll give
How
him a
much
piggyback, mate.
You'll drive him over, won't you?
Mate, I'll pay for his Uber. I don't care. I'll take him himself on my bike.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get my BMX. I'll go buy a BMX so he can stand on my stump pegs, and then I'll cycle him there.
Probably losing
At this point,
under a bridge.
if it were up to me, because I am not confident with Millier. I'm sorry, I'm going on a bit of a tangent here. I'm not
Go
happy
on,
with
please.
Millier.
Fill my ears with your tangentness.
Give us something we can clip.
Behold my tangentness in your ears. Holes. Generally, I'd get rid of Millier, not because. Well,
What
yeah,
now? What now?
He's rubbish. If it were up to me, but I know the what, I'd look for another keeper in the January window. But with that being said, we've got Kearney, got Darlow.
Cairns.
Cairns.
Sorry.
I know you meant.
Yeah, that's why I said it wrong. So we've got Cairns, we've got Darlow. Darlow, I'm not confident with either. Millier, we said it on Friday night. We spoke about it before, where Millier does not have enough competition for me. You either bring someone in to give him competition, or you get rid of him and get someone better for me. Generally, I'd get rid of him. But
I'm with you. I like anyone wants to pay anything like 8 million plus for him, I'd be happy enough to take.
Mate, get Casper Ankergren back out of retirement.
Sweet Jesus. These will be
Help me
clippable.
with that
These.
kind of talk.
It's all right. I mean, I'm fully in the old Meslier out camp. Him and Bamford done and dusted for me. But I also have to put my sensible hat on, which doesn't come out of the cupboard of a right lot. I'll be honest. Have to blow the dust off it. But we aren't going to attract anyone down here from January. It just isn't. It just isn't going to happen. Especially a keeper.
It doesn't necessarily have to be from up top. If you look at what Sheffield United, right, they bought that Cooper from Plymouth. He's a great keeper, absolutely brilliant, good shot stopper, great with distribution, and he commands his area. It's a great find, but it's one of them where they've identified him first. And I'm sure there's some great keepers. Like I was up for that. Is it Johansson from Rotherham?
Yeah.
I don't know what the attraction is in Stoke. They must have a great pie and gravy shop or something. But they just don't. They just attract certain players. Yeah, there's got to be something. Might be the air, but
Who knows?
But you know, there is gems out there. We just need to find them. That's what I'm saying.
Thing is, though, I mean, realistically, if we're not getting from the top, or we're not getting some sort of super porn star in for, if we do get promotion, for example, Max Steel with his diamond gloves. Trying to get someone in for really a few months. I mean, it literally is going to be a few months. It's going to be a bit of a hard sell. I mean, because at the end of the day, not everyone's going to be clambering to get to Leeds United. You know, as much as we like to think that everyone would absolutely, die tomorrow for our club, realistically, it's not the case.
If you're a player, though, in the Championship at any of the other clubs, apart from maybe Sheffield United and potentially Burnley, Sunderland,
I don't know, because
you get given the opportunity to play for Leeds, you're going to take it, even
yeah,
if
but
it's just a few
people,
months. But you're going to back yourself to go there and try and make it more than that. You know what I mean? Go stake your claim.
Yeah, but people will probably realise that it's Leeds United and we'll probably bottle it.
Maybe, but you're still in a top end Championship team.
I mean, I don't think we are. I don't think we will. Jay hopes we will, so we can sack Fark. That's the only reason that Jay
I don't want that. I don't want that.
Fark
I
out.
want to go up, mate.
Does Fark get an opportunity in the Premier League if we go up, Jay?
Yeah,
absolutely. You can't sack a guy who's got you up.
Good. I'm glad you said that.
You got
because there's a lot of course you have.
Sack him immediately.
Yeah, no, because he's an idiot though. He's genuinely. I mean, that anyone that can say to get rid of the manager that's given arguably two of the best seasons we've had for us for some time, and then sack him as soon as we get back to the Premier League is just an absolute dipstick. But people are entitled to the opinions, whatever. But I just think anyone that's got that sort of attitude is just, come on, man, you've got to give him an opportunity.
They overlooked the fact that Farke didn't get backed right well with Norwich in the Premier League.
Not
at all.
No, I think their biggest transfer. I'm sure it was Sam Byram from West Ham for like 8 million or something.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. But like, he didn't. That's what they're basing everything off. You've got to at least give him a chance. But then they say, right, we talk about this all the time. Sorry if I'm rambling, but people are saying,
That's fine, Berardi. We've got another 20 minutes or so to kill, mate. You crack on. Give the people what they want.
I will never bash people for having an opinion, but I will call it silly. I saw someone saying, he quote tweeted the Leeds United thing, the team sheet, and says, I can't wait for him to get out of my club. And then, a few hours later, we're on back of a 4-0 win. I just don't get it. Why do people want him gone now when we've won so many games? We're second in the league as it stands, and we've got good fixtures coming up. Not simple fixtures, but decent fixtures compared to
winnable.
Winnable. Yeah. I just don't know why.
I mean, they're all winnable. They are all winnable. But I know you mean. They're easier on the eye, aren't they? I suppose to your Sheffield Uniteds and your Sunderlands and Burnleys, etc. Yeah.
And go on, mate.
Some of the stuff annoys me that he does, and the away form needs sorting. But if you're still up in the top 2 and you're still up there, you can't sack somebody. You just can't.
Yeah, why would you derail that?
Yeah, we might not enjoy the football all the time, but by and large, it's getting the results generally. You can't. That is what it's all about at the end of the day. Whether it annoys us or not, whether he does stupid shit that we don't like and makes daft substitutions. If we're up there in the top 2, you cannot sack a guy. You just can't. We can question him though, and we can call stuff out, and we can be nasty about stuff. But
it's not above criticism. Nobody's above criticism. But you can be annoyed at his substitutions or his choice of starting 11. But you can't say get rid of him. It's not playing the way I want. We're not winning 5-0 like I want. That's just it seems to be the profile pictured people that I won't go into. I'm into a rabbit hole here.
Mate, come on.
No, Bryn.
Don't put this filth on the screen, please. I don't want to see it. My eyes, my fragile eyes don't want to read that smut that he's put on there.
For the audio, it's just Bryn saying he wants to get Corberan in.
Yeah, but what's Corberan done since he took over at West Brom?
Absolutely nothing. But people will argue with the fact that, he hasn't been given a war chest to do this and the other. West Brom have always been thereabouts, and they are arguably a good team, and they weren't so long ago in the Premier League themselves.
He was on about Southampton. I apologise, Bryn.
So you're going, whatever. Anyway, whatever. But yeah, I mean, the whole narrative around, getting rid of him and stuff like that, you look at, the majority of the teams, even the ones that have beaten us, really, about whether it be a penalty or a random off goal. You look at your Prestons, you look at your Blackburns or whatever. Prestons were one of the only goals that we've actually conceded properly out of, from open play. And that's because, there were issues there. I mean, it looked like they were all off the game. I mean, but the fact that people, try and beat Fark with that sort of stick, I don't understand how you can try and pick fault with how he sets up. Yes, we all get frustrated with him. He brings his substitutions on pretty much by your watch at 70th minute. Yeah. However, he sets up every single game exactly the same, and yet we're completely dominant at home. And we're not absolutely shy. We're all right. We're not losing all the time. We've lost 3 freaking games all season. But it's got to be a psychological thing, and that isn't on the manager. It's just not on the manager. That.
We don't play the same. The fullbacks invert more when we're away. They come inside more than they go down the outside.
I'm still yet to see a stat that says that's a consistent thing rather than that, not just an odd thing like it was at the weekend. I get what you're saying. I understand that people will pick. Such and such play this way. It's not consistently. We play consistently in the specific formation with a specific sort of set of. I mean, he might swap a winger or two. But it's pretty much you can pretty much nail the starting 11 each week unless there's been an injury. It's not something that he's just plucking random formations out there. He's changing the way he sets up, etc. No. It's he fully expects now that teams are going to set up defensively against him, and he has to get his team set up in a way to counter that and to dominate the possession and to try and get round and win. And sometimes we're not a dirty team. We don't win dirty. We're not, that sort of, the team. We try and do things the right way. But sometimes is that a fault of his that he doesn't start being a little bit dirty?
I think maybe
So,
part of it.
do you blame Farker for Tanaka's?
I don't blame
tackle?
anyone.
No, I
I'm
mean,
a
like,
happy clapper. I'm joking. I'm not.
I'm just putting it out there for a consensus. So, do you blame Farker for Tanaka's penalty? Do you blame Farker for Mellier's howler against Sunderland?
Howlers.
Do you blame howlers? Yeah.
Arguably, he should have done better against Preston as well. But people will still stand up for Melly and say,
great.
"But he did well to get down to the ball." It's like, yeah, but he's shit. 9 out of 10 keepers probably save that shot. Anyway, please carry on.
It's fine margins at the end of the day. The loss against Burnley, Solomon slips, he runs down. There's a bit of miscommunication, and it's a great finish, to be fair. But right at the first 30 seconds, Joseph misses a clear-cut chance.
Mm-hmm.
Scores. It's one of them. You can't blame Farker for everything. You can criticise him. But going back to look at the games we've lost, a mistake from Solomon, a mistake from Tanaka, and a rubbish set piece at Millwall. There's always context to the losses. Yeah, we don't play well all the time. No team's going to. That's the beauty of football. The people. It's not AI. It's not FIFA. Do you know what I mean? That's on paper. You can say, yeah, these are great, but all it takes is that one swift moment, and when we look at Histon. Do you know what I mean? It takes that one goal to change everything. Sorry to bring up some old scars, but
No, it's all right. It's fine.
It's all right, mate. We've dealt with all that now.
For me, but that's yeah. I don't want to get cancelled. So
I mean,
It's all in the past.
it's like with Farker, you can say that if we are losing 1-0 to teams like Millwall and we are having the lion's share of the ball, so to speak, but we're still not creating enough to actually score, or we're not creating good enough clear-cut chances, then there's an element of that being down to the manager. But it's a combined effort. The players need to be on point, and the manager needs to get things right. If one of those things is not working, then you're gonna have issues.
So when a team sets up defensively against us, right? So that's 10 men behind the ball. How do you beat that? By
penis ball, maximum penetration, straight down the middle.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
It's tempo. If you move the ball fast, you spread that, you open the gaps for players to run in. This is my perspective.
Technical
analysis, which is not very good, by the way. This is what I've been told, because I've asked the likes of Joe Lockie, and this is what they've essentially told me. That you've got to move the ball fast, get into the gaps before they set up. That's the only way you can beat a low block, right? If they're a rigid defensive unit, that's why we pass it around, to find them gaps, because we can't just lump it into the centre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we don't have that target man. Like your Kiefer Moores, who scored a worldie at the weekend out of nowhere, by the way.
He scored two very well taken goals at the weekend. Actually, I've seen them both a lot. He's a great player, and that's why they got him, because he's a good player down at this standard. But then you go up to the Premier League, and he's average. A lot of players are.
But this is what I'm trying to say. We can't just lump it in the box, because we don't have a Chris Wood anymore to just knock it in with his little Roblox head. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just what. But this is what I'm no, by no means am I a student of the game. I've played it all my life. That's about it, and I've got the eye test. But from what I've heard, and from people that do know the game, that is how you sort of technically do it, tactically. But people that are like me won't see that unless you've been told about that. That's what I'm just trying to say.
I tell you what, Carl's done some coaching, mate, like proper stuff, and he don't give us this kind of technical analysis. So you ahead of the game here.
Oh, I'll be real upset you've said that now.
Well, that's why.
If he just happens to watch this back, he'll be really upset with you. He will definitely. He will as well. If he ever takes piss out of his coaching, he gets a proper little grump on. Come all the way from Ireland, to come over here and be all philosophical about his bloody football. There were a couple of comments I just wanted to come back to. And the first one was, it was Dr. Cox, actually. And it says, Victor Johansson cost Stoke 750k from Rotherham. Now, that's a good deal for them, obviously. However, if Leeds United roll into town, people automatically see pound signs. And you can always guarantee that anyone that wants to sell, or if Leeds are interested in a specific player or anything like that, pound size will roll. People will think, oh, it's Leeds United, they've got money to burn. Apparently, we can up his price maybe 3-4 times or whatever. And that's something that obviously our recruitment have got to consider as well, because people will just bump the prices of the players up. Absolutely.
Well, yeah.
So do you want to pay maybe 4 or 5 times over the odds for a keeper that's probably going to only play a few games? I honestly don't think we're going to get a keeper in this new window. I don't. As much as I would like to, if you can guarantee me that he was much better than Meslier, then I would say yeah, absolutely crack on. But they won't pay the money for it, because it'd be pointless.
But if you look at Meslier, we paid 5 million, 6 million for him from Lorient, and that's right, I can pronounce it in French.
Yes, it was. Yes.
And if you can get 10 million from Scum for Meslier, I'll take it, and you just reinvest it somewhere else. You just reinvest it to a seasoned keeper. Go after someone else. Like there's someone in the comments that said about Steele from Brighton. He dropped down. And if you guarantee him games, don't forget he was first team player. He was in the starting 11 week in, week out, wasn't he? With what's his name?
Decent keeper.
The Italian guy, I forget his name. De something.
De player.
What's his name? The manager. That's it. But he were constantly in the 11, and then he just dropped him for Sanchez, didn't he? Out of nowhere or whatever. But
yeah,
we won't get a keeper. We'll definitely get a 10, I think.
Yeah,
I think that's on the Christmas.
I'd like to think we get a creative 10.
What was that?
I think that was a child of mine potentially smashing some cutlery next door. Who knows?
Just heard what I said.
Car crash.
Get rid of it.
Shit. Paul Atkinson says, going to be controversial, but F it. We are better in midfield without Ampadu. He's too rash and will cost us. His passing is not all that either. I have more confidence in our loan signing.
That is
in the corner, Paul.
Hell of a take.
Go sit in the corner. That's a good take, to be fair.
I'm not saying anything until you two tell me what you think of this. So we'll start with you down at the bottom. Down at the bottom, Mr. Boston. Go on.
So you can decide which way to go on the fence. If who sounds better,
I will remove the splinters out of my arse later.
Okay.
I think he's good in either DM or centre back. I'm happy for Ampadu to cover either way, but if it push comes to shove, I think I'd probably put Ampadu for strike, if I'm being honest with you.
Sizzling hot take.
I know, because I just think Tanaka and Rothwell work so well. I don't see Gruev getting in at all. I think he's rocking the bench, mate. I think he's got his slippers on.
Gruev, I can see crying himself to sleep every night now, because he must think, shit, I'm not going to get back in here unless there's an injury, because you've got Gilivugi as well knocking around as well, who's putting some decent shifts in. Yeah. See how friggin' fast he run yesterday, by the way?
I don't remember.
He did a mad sprint towards dugouts at one point. I was like, friggin' hell, he can shift for the big lad.
I don't remember that part.
Honestly, I'd be interested to see what it faster out of him and Solomon, to be honest. But
I think you keep Gilivugi on the bench for when Ampadu goes into a rash challenge and injures himself again. But yes. I think Ampadu's a better tackler. I think his passing's good, but I think he's better at centre back, in my opinion.
So, I agree with the first part of this. I think that we are
better. Being controversial?
No. I think that we are better in midfield without him, because I think the team as a whole is better with him in defence as centre back. But I don't agree that he's too rash and will cost us, and I don't agree that his passing's not good, and I don't agree in the loan signing. I presume it means Rothwell. I don't have more confidence in either one of them. I think they're both same sort of level as far as someone you can depend on goes. Maybe not quite ability-wise, but dependability-wise, they're both going to give you their all.
Yeah.
So, would you have Gruev and Ampadu come straight back in then?
No, I'd keep Ampadu at centre back. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
I don't think that.
Gruev does not get in over Tanaka or Rothwell. He's not even same page. Never mind the same friggin' league. Jesus, no.
But yeah,
I've got nothing against Gruev, by the way. I've got nothing against Gruev, but as far as I'm concerned, and we're arcing back over the last couple of weeks. I don't even think Ampadu gets in over Rothwell and Tanaka, and I want Ampadu back in our team, which is why I was thinking this is an absolute ideal situation that Struijk has dropped out for me, because I think Ampadu is a better centre back, and I just think Tanaka and Rothwell, that partnership is just untouchable. I'll put my teeth back in, and a couple of shadows with my beef. But yeah, I just think, for me, it's ideal. Struijk's made a couple of mistakes over the last weeks. Granted, that Tanaka gave the penalty away against Blackburn, but he's got so much more credit in the bank. And Struijk is a threat from set pieces, etc. I understand that, but for me, I just think that Ampadu he's just everything I want out of a captain, out of a centre back. He's nasty. He can put decent tackles in. Yeah. He's very, very vocal as well. Struijk don't really see. I mean, obviously I can't hear exactly what they're saying, but quite often you can see that there's a lot of communication from Ampadu. You don't really get that with Struijk.
Him and really good understanding as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think, I don't agree about the passing, with Ampadu. I think he's quite a tidy passer. In fact, I did make a comment yesterday to one of the lads. I said Ampadu's reined his passing in, because you don't see him doing the 30, 40 yard spreaders anymore, really. He's only just come back into the team as well. I understand that. But for me, I agree. I think Ampadu, in for Struijk, that's the way for me. And at the end of the day, you want your best starting 11 starting, don't you?
You do.
Well, this is the case after
players in a different position, even though they want to be in another one. If they're good there and they can do that, then you're going to put them in.
I think we're at Stoke, out with Boxing Day.
Yes,
I think
I'm going down there.
He keeps the same team, but he starts Joseph instead of Perrault, in my opinion.
I think you're right.
I think he starts. He starts Joseph at away games, I think.
See, that's always subjective as well. The whole argument over who starts over Pirot and Joseph, etc. Bamford's never even mentioned in the conversation anymore, is he? But for me again, Pirot for me comes on front bench. I like the way that Joseph does, runs the channels. He presses well. He does a lot of things that Aronson does as well, to be honest. And when you've got Aronson and Joseph pressing and being that kind of, the defence right, because your defenders start at the front for me. Bamford used to run the channels well, etc. as well, a long time ago, I might say. But exactly, that pressure at the back. You got someone closing down their space that they're knocking around. It adds, and Pirot just does not do that. However, Pirot is such a good clinical finisher. But we've seen it. I mean, he didn't do anything. Pirot didn't do anything yesterday. He didn't do very, very little. Yeah, he was. I mean, in an opportunity, but we're playing Oxford. I know. I think Stoke is going to be a completely different kettle of fish. We do tend to struggle down there. So for me, Pirot probably comes on. I'm later. I don't know. Just slightly off subject. I don't actually know when we're doing a main pod, because I'm not doing it on Tuesday. I can tell you that for free. So that might have to be tomorrow, actually. So I won't go into any Stoke stuff. Right. I'm not doing Christmas Eve. We're not doing chuffing Christmas Eve. No chance. Us with kids. No bloody. Because of fucking talking to you arseholes on Christmas Eve. I've got chuffing family stuff to do. These people who watch our podcast won't want to watch our ugly mugs talk bollocks again on Tuesday. Jesus Christ.
Just by that point.
No chance. No chance. Unless Danny comes on again, and maybe they might come back for him. Who knows?
Well, you never know. He does bring the people in.
Depends.
Who knows?
Yeah. I do
Fergal Kelly. So we were asking earlier if you're supping Baileys, actually.
Yes. Well, I prefer to call it Christmas juice. So it's. I know I've had my mince pie as well. So
mince pie's acceptable. Baileys, no. Baileys on a podcast, mate. Absolutely not. It's nearly as bad as him with his frigging Christmas earring. It's horrendous. It's horrendous.
Lovely.
I can't speak.
Fight me in the car park. Let's go.
I will fight you. I will fight you. I'll whip you with a towel. You'll probably enjoy it as well, you kinky little shit.
Yeah, I'll hit you that many times you think you're surrounded. How about that?
Wow. I'm sure my shins will feel sorry in the morning. Fergal Kelly says, off topic, didn't the Sheffield Wednesday manager reject Southampton? I don't know. Do you guys know anything about that?
I think
I got a clue.
They spoke to him, offered it to this other guy, and he's come
Something
out and
boy. Something boy into it. I can't remember his first name.
it's from
Danny
Roma.
boy.
Paperboy.
Paper
No,
boy.
I think they've spoke to him. They spoke to him, said, "Would you be interested?" And he was like, "Oh, well, actually." And they've got this other guy in, and he went, "Oh no, I've rejected them." I think that's what they've done.
Do you reckon that's what it is?
Would you go from Wednesday to Southampton in the Premier League?
No.
I think that's a bigger jump, me personally.
Well, it's a big jump, but it's a big job because at the end of the day, if you don't perform well initially, which everyone expects a manager or a new manager to do, you're going to get sacked anyway. So you might as well chance it because Wednesday are actually picking some. Well, yeah, but that's not. The thing is for a manager, it's little bit different for a manager than it is for a footballer because you can be a manager for Christ knows how long. At the end of the day, if you've got a relegation on your CV as a manager, that's a big thing. That's a big thing.
At the same time, you've also got Premier League experience on your CV.
What experience in getting dicked left, right, and centre? Because that's all they're going to be getting done, isn't it? The Southampton are absolutely nailed on to come down. There's no way they're surviving. So why the frigging hell would you? Oh, come over to our sinking ship. It's lovely. It's a little bit moist. Why would you do that?
Derby County are just hoping that they smash their record.
Yeah.
On your CV, it'll just say Premier League, Southampton from then till then. That's all I'll see on the CV.
I mean, where are Wednesday? I mean, not that we care about Sheffield Wednesday. Christ. Assholes. Fuck Wednesday. Wednesday are 9th. The 9th. So there's a good chance that the way they're performing as well, because they had a bit of a rocky start, that it'll get them into the playoffs, and you never know. So would you rather get promotion on your CV to the Premier League, potentially, or an absolute certainty in relegation?
Relegation isn't certain.
Oh, Daniel, come on.
Well, look at us. We survived on the last.
You sat there drinking Baileys. It's not doing anything for them frigging logical brain cells of yours.
I think you mean Christmas juice.
Christmas juice with the pinkies out. Oh, God.
Doc said it's Jesus juice.
Not wine.
Wine for the swine.
You say about relegation or promotion, but then you may get some people look at it and think, well, they're going to get relegated, but they're going to have a lot of resources to rebuild the side in their own image next season. They're going to have a strong core of a squad coming down from the Premier League, and they'll get a good shot at it. They could go out and maybe win the division next time around. You know what I mean? That's got to factor in.
I'll tell you who's really shocked me. Luton.
Oh, God,
I had them in my top
Yeah.
6.
I
Really
thought they'd do a lot
shocked me,
better.
Luton.
I thought they'd do a lot better than they have.
Yeah.
And the crap as well. It's not just like, stuff ain't going that way. They are absolutely shy. They are really, really poor.
They've got the nucleus of the team that went up still. Why can they suddenly not play anymore?
Psychological, bro, innit?
They're all smashed out. They've got a team of
I do
Ellis
believe
lost it.
they got the sold the best players. Ross Barkley left to go to Villa, and I don't think they bought anyone. I don't think they bought anyone. No.
Well, they'll have spent big time, won't they? They'll owe most of the frigging parachute payments out, I would assume.
Yeah,
Maybe they're just prepping for next season.
maybe so.
What, in League One? Storm League One. That might be a good idea. We'll go all the way down to League One and have a cracking couple of seasons getting promoted back up there.
It'd be right.
Who knows? Any more thoughts on the game then, chaps? Because I have noticed we have been rambling on for an hour. And people have Sundays to complete and are probably fed up of listening to us. So, anything else to add?
Solomon's finish.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was really good, and it's a hard to score from that angle, in my personal opinion. I thought Solomon played really well, and I thought he's looking like his best. Probably, you could argue it was probably his best game for us.
It was a very good play. Very, very good. His XG were really low as well for that shot that he scored. Yeah, no, it's definitely one of his best games, and like I say, he's been getting getting better week after week, should I say? And he's showing glimpses. In fact, his foot, I reckon, he's probably as good now as just before he got injured, because he was like lightning. His movement's brilliant. His interlinking plays, he's cracking. I can't pick fault with him at the minute, and he's scoring as well. You could say that about Aronson as well, but I won't, because I still think as much as I like to stick up for Brendan Aronson, that we do need someone a little bit better. I think we've given him half a season now, and I think that yes, he presses well, etc. Yes, there is no one in the team that does the pressing and the counter attacking like he does. However, you probably do want something a little bit more creativity. And if people are hell bent on getting Strike back in the team, do you move Rothwell or Tanaka? Probably Rothwell up into that number 10 position and get Ampadu alongside Tanaka. That's probably it's probably a conversation for tomorrow because I'm not doing it on Tuesday.
Can I just? I've just sent you a post from LFC Data via a DM on Twitter. Do you mind if I just reel out a few stats?
You can do it if you like.
You do it.
Right.
So, about Rothwell?
About Leeds ranked in the Championship after 22 games. So we're first. We're ranked first for goals scored. We've scored 41 goals. We're ranked first in possession share, which is 62%. Pass accuracy is 86%. Chances created 271. So first, again, shots on target first, successful passes first, corners taken first, lowest conceded first, all the way down to opposition box touches, most points won, most games won, most clean sheets were second and respectively third. So I don't know where this sort of narrative from people that have agenda against Farke to say that we're rubbish when we're ranked in about 10 of 16 categories first. Do you know what I mean? I know it's not stats are different compared to the actual game, but stats are stats. What can't speak can't lie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You just have to listen to all the managers that in their post-match interviews, etc., and they all say they're just so hard to play against. They're faster, they're fitter, they're stronger, they play better football, the passing's better, everything. I mean, I can't remember the guy, the caretaker managers, but he was full of praise for us as well. It's kind of a common theme. Even Wilder when we beat them 2-0 were full of praise. I mean, sometimes you can look into that. What sort of games is he sort of playing? Do you know what I mean? Because he's like that, any Wilder. But
absolutely.
when you listen to the majority of the managers and some of the players as well, you just think Leeds are the best team. Their manager said it again last night. They are the best. They are the best in the league. And I do think I still think we'll go up as champions. I don't think that the longevity from Sheffield United will be there. I think they will slip up. Granted, we'll probably do the same at Easter, like we like to do it. Craig Smarty.
I think that's the caretaker manager.
Oh, is he called Smarty?
That's what I'm guessing.
What a coincidence. Yeah, I think he's right. I think it is Craig Shot. Thank you, Daniel. Not you, little shit down here. The one in the comments. Average Daniel. That's what I'm going to save you in my phone book as Dan.
Average Dan.
Average Dan. The tide's gone out.
You're the Jolly Leeds giant.
On my Swede. Not mine, Daniel's. That's why he wears hats.
You're a terrible person, aren't you?
I'm horrible. I am genuinely horrible to it. I don't even know why.
I wish I could leak our COD chat because we'd be doing time.
Never. It will never happen.
You're not allowed.
It will never happen.
I see you.
You'll get cancelled.
Well, Bryn.
You'll get cancelled.
I've been on COD at the same time as Bryn. I wish I could leak your chat as well.
Right, I'm going to bring this to a close because it's 20 to 10. We have rambled on for an hour. I don't actually know if it's been enjoyable for you guys in the comments. I apologise if not. We've kind of gone on all sorts of different tangents this evening. But thank you very much for interacting with us anyway.
I was going to mention one thing.
No, don't do it before I do. If it's what I think you're going to do.
No, it's not.
Go on then. Okay, go on then.
It's just a little feel-good story.
Nice.
Well, I'll tell you what then. Let me do ours first, and we can finish with the feel good. Because what I will say is that, unfortunately, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware, we've had some really horrible news today. For those that do follow the account, Walmot, it's we all love Leeds matching on together on Instagram and a few other little, obviously the social media stuff. Unfortunately, Adam has tragically passed away. I think it was today. I believe it was today. It might have been yesterday. I don't know when it was actually, but it was confirmed today via his own socials that he unfortunately has lost his battle with cancer. We've given him a couple of shout outs on here. I know quite a few people have on their podcast as well. He had some great content, and it's just a real shame. We've lost him to that horrible disease. So that's him as a lad. This is Adam. So thoughts are with his family and his friends at this very, very difficult time. It's not easy losing a loved one, and especially at this time of year as well. He's got a young family and stuff. So I think they do have a Just Giving page, and I did type it into one of the banners if I can find it. Jay, you might have to help me out here. Where's the bloody banners thing? Where's the banners thing?
Hang on. You're over here.
I hate it how it... Banners. Yes, there you go. So his family have set up a GoFundMe page. If you can donate anything, it don't matter how little. If you, I know it's obviously Christmas, etc., and times are hard, etc., but if you can donate anything, towards it, then that would be really, really appreciated, I'm sure. So yeah, thoughts are with his family and friends, and R.I.P. Adam, top lad, will be missed. Go on, Jay. Let's finish on a high.
No worries. It's just a little thing. It's something that I've just seen from the club.
Better not be something about cats.
No, I was going to bring it up, but I can't be asked because it's not good. I'll just tell you. It's just something about Parag Marate, where he's giving a bonus to all the staff, which is quite nice.
Oh, is it? What, all of the Leeds stuff?
It looks like it, yeah. Give him a £200 Christmas bonus. He's given him a nice little party and meal and all that. And he's been on video to them all, addressed them all, thanked them, and given them this bonus, which is nice.
Oh, that's
when
good.
you look at Scum, that Ratcliffe fucker has been taking away the bonuses for their stewards.
He has, hasn't he?
He's got rid of steward at month and all that stuff. He's just like, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Steward of the month.
Yeah. What have these lads got to aspire to now? But
they got bummed today, didn't they?
Oh yeah. But
Lovely.
yeah, it's nice to see that our club is looking after the
3-0.
staff.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, obviously, with the dreaded 49ers, obviously they've ruined our club, as Gilly would say, etc., etc. It's nice. It's nice that the people who have ruined our club are looking after the best interests of its staff. But there you go.
Can I ask Jay something really quick? I promise it'll be really quick. How do you feel now that it's come out about Archie Gray shopping around Man City before he went to Spurs? Because I know you were really upset 'cause forced out the club were mentioned. Has it changed your opinion? Or?
Not really.
Forced out of the club. It was never forced out of the club. He saw a couple of golden carrots and went, "Oh, yes, please," and off he pissed.
But if he wanted to go, then that's different. If he actually wanted to go, then that does change things a little bit. Context is important.
Absolutely.
I just want you to love the 49ers again, that's all.
Everyone loves the 49ers. They're great. They're great.
Jim Ratcliffe.
Oh dear. Oh dear. And on that sorry note, I think we best end. Thank you everyone for joining with us this evening. Hopefully we will be back tomorrow. It won't be Tuesday, it'll be tomorrow, I think. Join us, look out for I'm going to post the link to Adam's GoFundMe page as well. I'll stick that on Twitter. If you're there, obviously not everyone's on Twitter, etc. So hopefully you've jotted it down or whatever. If you can support us, then that's brilliant. That's basically off the back of Bryn's comment there. So we'll post that to our socials that you can all copy it. I don't know if you'll be with us, will you, tomorrow, Jay?
Don't know. I'm not planning to die.
No, I want on about that. I thought, no, Jesus. You cannot take this guy anywhere. Like seriously, you're a fucking. Anyway. No, it was more to do with you might be nipping over to North Pole for a couple of nights. Anyway, I'll see you. Take care, everyone. I'll catch you later.